Welcome back. This is Dr. Nito, the Blockchain Pro, and we are going over Lab 3. So get your Vagrant file virtual machine up and running. You may use a specific snapshot. You can use the command vagrant snapshot restore in the name of your snapshot and bring a specific VM. Get inside of Ubuntu, log in, and open up a terminal window. I always recommend that if you open up a new terminal window that you source your profile. And once you do that, we're going to do some updates to your libraries and dependencies. We'll do sudo apt-get update. We want to force a specific release for Node and the same thing for NPM. Compatibility with Lab 3 depends on Node release 9.8.0 and NPM 5.7.1. Just want to double check that we have the correct version of Node. Perfect. We should be at version 9.8.0. And now we're going to do the same thing for NPM. And we're looking to force release version 5.7.1. Okay, let's double check NPM. Now, even though it says version 6.13.4, we forced version 5.7.1, so let's continue. And we're going to change directories inside of your trade, finance, logistics, and then / middleware folder from the author's repository. Take a date and perform a screenshot. And the next step is we are going to install Fabric. And we have to be very specific with release 1.4.5. Now that we have the CA, we're going to do the same, but for the client. And once again, make sure you're running release 1.4.5. Alright, so the next thing is we're going to do gedit, and we're going to look inside of the config JSON file. You can do Control F to search, and we want to first just look at the carrier organization. Go ahead and take a screenshot focusing on the URL, the naming convention, Right, from here you can either X out or you can actually just open, and we can search for client utils, and under this particular file we are looking for register and enroll user. Go ahead and take a screenshot, read through the code, take a screenshot, and you may exit gedit. Last, we are going to open create trade app JavaScript. And we're looking for wood for toys, Control F. There it is, wood for toys. It's giving you some of the information related to the chain code, and in the case that it fails, some error messages. Go ahead and take a screenshot. And then you may close this file. Now let's go back to the network folder where we launch the trade script. And depending on your VM, you may have or may not have instantiated the trade network. So we want to make sure we remove any previous cryptographic material. So we do that with this command. We're also going to make sure that your network is down, and we want to make sure that we clean in case. Let me run the command again. And since copied the command, it added some additional characters. Let's make sure we shut down the trade network, and we are also going to clean the network. All right, now that everything is clear, we are ready to launch your trade network and proceed with lab 3. All right. Trade up. All right. It's a good sign. So we're going to open up a second terminal. And remember that first thing we're going to do is we are going to source the directory, the profile. And we can continue on. Once again, we're going inside of the middleware directory. And initially, I was getting an error. We're going to see if the node directory, if the node command works. It was needing some additional fs-extra tools, and if this command fails, we'll just add those tools. Otherwise, you should be able to continue. Yep, this is the error I was getting because it was referring to these fs-extra. So I'm going to make sure I add this command in your lab. So we're going to run the following command: npm I for installed fs-extra. And after I install these tools, we are going to rerun the previous command for node create trade app. All right, we have successfully instantiated. In disregard this error message, as you can see, there's actually a message saying, let me see if I can go back. The trade channel does not exist, so ignore this error because we will be creating it later on. So disregard this particular error. When this command finishes, make sure you run the date command and take a screenshot for your lab submission. This may take a couple of minutes. I just want to expand the window because when I open up a third terminal window, there's going to be some action that I want you to see in real time. As this finishes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up another window shortly. As this command finishes, I'm going back to my terminal 1 window and I'm going to run docker space ps space -a command. Alright, we have that up and running and we're displaying the different peers. Alright, let's go back to our second window. The command, alright, it's still going. So now we're going to run another JavaScript called run trade scenario app. Make sure you take the, before you do that, make sure you type in the date and take a snapshot for your lab. So moving on to the next step, we're running the run trade scenario app.javascript. Everything is successful. Let's get a date and make a snapshot for your lab. Next, we're going to step 1.4, run the blockchain client application. We're going to be changing directory. So from the middleware, we are going to the application directory. We are running the npm install command. Disregard some errors that you may see if it's actually building properly. to build the app JavaScript with the node app.js command. And we have started our server, localhost, port. So we're going to be opening up a third terminal window, but I'm going to move this just so you can see the action, what's happening. I'm going to minimize a little bit I'm going to shrink the first terminal window so that the focus is on the second window, and I'm going to open up a third one. All right, so we have the terminal second window and the third window on the bottom. So as I mentioned before, make sure you source the directory, you source your profile. And we're going to be typing the following commands. First, we want to make sure we change the directory back into the application folder. Next, we are going to enter the following curl command to the server with the port that we previously stated. And as you can see, we have real-time actions happening on your second window. Next, we are requesting the token for access. And make sure you copy, because you will need this token for your next command. So everything inside of the double quotes, this is going to be my token, but your token will be different. And just copy paste it into the command that you will use in step 11. So for me, it's going to look something like this. So it's a curl command with different arguments: the server, the port, the channel that we've instantiated. And as you can see, this token has the value that was presented in the previous command. As you can see, everything successfully, the user has been enrolled successfully, admin, inside of the trade channel that we created. Remember, we were having an error previously that the channel did not exist. Well, we actually successfully created the channel with the Genesis block. Make sure you take a date and add it to your lab. And at this point, we have completed lab 3. You may shut down the network, and you can do that. We can go back to the second terminal, and on the second terminal, actually the first terminal. Let me go back to terminal number 1, the one that has the network that's inside of the network directory, so we can issue the trade sh down command. Yep, killing the trade channel. I will be uploading this video today, and I'll give you also an updated lab file.